Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I want to raise an issue that perhaps will be a conversation around your Shabbat dinner table or conversation with your family or your friends. It was evoked by reading the JTA, the Jewish Telegraphic Agency's daily report, in which it indicated two things that are of concern and two things that reflect importantly on our values. The first was a story that the name of the Sackler family, which exists on many of the museums at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, is going to be removed. It's going to be removed because of the family's association with the opioid epidemic through their pharmaceutical companies. A lot of pain has been brought to a lot of families and to a lot of people. A lot of death has taken place because of that crisis. The second story involves Michael Steinhardt, who, by the way, is not of any relationship with me. Perhaps at one time I had hoped he would have been an uncle, but that's not the case, nor will it ever be the case. The student union at New York University is requesting that NYU remove his name from the School of Culture, Education, and Human Development. And the reason they want to remove it is because it's been revealed that this philanthropist had owned more than 1,000 looted items, antiquities over the past 30 years. They're worth over $170 million. He was involved with that. And so they want his name to be removed. These are painful stories, and they reveal painful realities and raise very, very painful questions. One of the proud moments that I experienced as a student at Jewish Theological Seminary was when the library, at the time a new library was built. It was built with a very large multi-million-dollar gift from Ivan Boesky. You may know that Boesky was convicted of insider trading. The seminary decided to give him his money back and to take his name off the building. That was a source of great pride. That type of thing was not happening in a lot of other institutions at the time. Over the years, we have heard of institutions, organizations, movements in Judaism that do receive what's called dirty money. And decisions have to be made. Too often the groups decide to keep the money, and I think it's a shanda on them and on the Jewish people. It shouldn't happen that way. And so it raises the question as to what do we do when gifts are offered to our communities that come from places where the names are associated with criminal behavior. The tradition is the place we turn for these things, and then the conversation has to enlarge through our own times. But there are a couple interesting situations that are brought up by the tradition. One, which may seem silly, asks the question, is a person able to use their lulav on Sukkot if it was a stolen lulav? And the answer the rabbis give is that they cannot use it on the first day of Sukkot, but they can use it the following days. They say it loses its value because it was stolen. On the other hand, they don't want to prevent someone from doing mitzvot moving forward. And they ask another question, that is, can money from prostitution be used by the temple when it's donated to the temple? And they're very clear, and they say no. I think these are really important decisions because these gifts not only reflect the giver, but they reflect the institutions, the synagogues, the movements that receive them. And I think that what we have to do is to value the names of those people who live lives of integrity and honor, those people who work hard for their earnings, and those people who are willing to share with a community because of the best possible reasons, not because they want to redeem their names since they have done things which are illegal. These are important questions, and communities need to continually ask those questions in order to have value, in order to have integrity. And I think that's it's a conversation that we should always be in. Furthermore, I think it's really important because of our children and future generations, because when they know someone has been involved in activities which, for example, may be filled with hatred or racism or illegalities, then they should know those people are not going to be honored by the community. You can't buy a good name. You have to live a life of goodness to have a good name. Shabbat Shalom, and we'll continue these conversations.